How you doing, my fellow moviegoers? And after a pretty rocky road in production, Solo, a Star Wars story, was finally released in the movie theaters, and I got to go and check it out, and I want to share what I thought of the movie with you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get right to it. So we already know the gist of the story. It tells the story of a young Han Solo, how he met Chewbacca, how he met Lando, how the Kessel Run went, and pretty much how he got to have the Millennium Falcon, which we already kind of knew if you watched The Empire Strikes Back. Now I gotta say, the first about 30 to 40 minutes of this movie, it started off kind of rocky. I mean, the story kind of bounced around a little bit. It wasn't really smooth or coherent. For instance, I'm not 100% sure why Han Solo joined the Imperial Armed Forces, unless it was just so that he could become a pilot and show how he learned to be a pilot. Other than that, it didn't really offer any other kind of good story addition to it. I mean, it showed how he met Woody Harrelson's character too, but that could have been done another route as well. So technically, it really didn't need to be there. After we get through all of that and we actually get to the first heist, which is actually them trying to steal some fuel from a train, the story does pick up a little bit. It's a nice little action sequence right there. However, you don't feel any kind of threat or suspense when you're watching scenes like this, because we already know Han's gonna make it out alive, Chewbacca's gonna make it out alive, and Lando will make it out alive when he joins up later. And even the supporting characters that they have there, you have a feeling, okay, they're gonna die, but you never actually have any kind of emotion when any of the supporting characters do die, because this story does not have that much of a big character development in it at all. Like the first character that dies in this, he's part of Woody Harrelson's crew. It's just like, he's there for a couple of moments and you learn, okay, he doesn't want to be tied down or anything like that. And then he dies and he says it's not good to die alone. That's it. I did not care that he died. Now that's not to totally say that this movie is all bad. I mean, it does have some good action scenes in it. The train heist, getting to see the Kessel Run, which they actually do fix the plot hole problem where they say that they did the Kessel Run in like 12 parsecs, because parsecs is a measurement of distance, not time, which is what people always criticize A New Hope about. In here, they showed how he could have made that with 12 parsecs as the distance, and it kind of works. And visually speaking, they did a good job bringing these worlds in Star Wars to life. I mean, in my opinion, this is probably one of the more realistic looking Star Wars films that we've had in quite a long time. And in my opinion, I believe it's because they did a lot of practical use. It looks like they built a majority of the sets, used CGI when they had to. Now, for the elephant in the room, how did Alden Ehrenreich do as the young Solo? Now, for me personally, I was rooting for the guy, because people were really skeptical about him when he was cast. Plus, we heard a little bit of bad news about his attitude while he was on set. However, for me, he never quite hits the Solo character like I was expecting him to. It's hard for me to believe that when we get to A New Hope, this is going to be the same Han Solo that's in A New Hope. And we should count our lucky stars that maybe George Lucas is not involved with this anymore, because after this film, he would probably go back and re-release the original trilogy and CGI implement Alden Ehrenreich's head over Han Solo's over in all those movies. However, on the flip side of that, Donald Glover, I thought he did a pretty good job playing Lando. Like, I could actually look at him and kind of believe that Lando right there is going to be the same Lando that we saw appear in Empire Strikes Back. Even the little addition of calling Han, like Billy D. Williams did in Empire Strikes Back, was there. So that was a nice addition. I thought he did a real good job of that. You know, I sense in the future that they may offer him to do a Lando Calrissian movie in the future. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I thought he did a pretty good job on that. Chewbacca, of course, is still really good in this one. He's actually the most physical that we have seen him probably ever in a Star Wars movie. Going as far as we actually get to see him rip the arms out of a socket of a guard on one of the mining planets. Now, this movie's not going to be as deep or emotionally upheaving, as you want to call it, for Rogue One. This movie's not like that. This movie is more like kind of like a fun little action film that you would see like on a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, just something to kick back and relax with. So don't go into it expecting anything too deep, just try to enjoy the ride for what it is. And they do offer some surprises that you may not see coming. For instance, there is a surprise appearance by a certain Sith Lord that is not Darth Vader. Who could it be? I'm not gonna say just yet. Anyway, I had a pretty okay time seeing this film. I was not really as invested with it watching it as I was Rogue One, because even, you know, during Rogue One I was actually like on the edge of my seat wondering what was going to happen next. With the Han Solo movie, I really wasn't quite like that because I had an idea of what was going to happen next as time went on, just because of who the characters were, and you've heard the story told in the previous trilogies. And at times when you're watching it, you could kind of see the difference between when Ron Howard was brought in and when the other directors were still there, since there was some reshoots going on. I think that might be one reason why the beginning is just kind of a little bit choppy, a little bit maybe. I would like to have known what the original directors were going to do, you know. I would really like to have seen their cut of what they wanted to do and then compare and contrast and see which one would have been better. But that's just me. But I do believe that they kind of were really wanting to get this thing out in May to have it as a summertime film. I think they should have waited. I think they should have either pushed it back to November or December to try to smooth everything out and make sure all of the creative changes were very fluid from when they were transitioning directors. Or even that, just give us a year off from a Star Wars film. Don't oversaturate us, you know. Let 2018 be a year off. And let 2019 be the year when they finish up the Skywalker saga with Episode 9. But I'm curious to hear what you guys thought. Did you guys enjoy this movie? Please let me know down in the comment sections below, because that is what it is there for. And also, please remember that if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, and also to subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with all the upcoming movie reviews that I'll be doing in the future. And if you have not checked it out, please go ahead and check out this movie review for Avengers: Infinity War. Alright my friends, that's all the time we have for today. I'll be seeing you guys later, and I will save you a movie chair for the next video.